A leader is somebody, or in this case, a country, who guides or directs others in a positive, influential way. To obtain a leadership role, a country must cooperate with other countries, help others in facing injustice, show good moral judgment and when faced with conflict, and lastly, successfully working towards peace. Canada should be the UN advisor on maintaining responsible international involvement and has demonstrated the capability to be a UN advisor. In 1990, the UN multinational force led by the U.S., which included Canada, was deployed to drive Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait, where he took over. The force took action and was done by early 1991. Canada never lost any lives during the Gulf War, successfully and cooperated with the U.S. as well as many other countries without hesitation. It demonstrates how quickly Canada responded to such an event and how effectively cooperating with the U.S. April 1917, the Battle of Vimy Ridge. During this battle, one half of the Allies, French and British, had failed to capture Vimy. This battle was the first time a Canadian general, Arthur Currie, led a battle which was only captured within 4 days. It had given a bold name and courageous reputation. Although France and Britain had resigned from the battle, Canada stayed and successfully worked towards peace. 1956. Egyptian President Nasser seized the Suez Canal from France and Britain. As both Britain and France joined forces with Israel, the Soviet Union responded by joining forces with Egypt. Before proceeding to get heated, Lester B. Pearson, the Prime Minister of Canada, sent troops into Israel for Egypt and Israel to negotiate and spring up a negotiation. This showed good moral judgment because Canada responded immediately, resulting in no casualties, as well as helping two nations negotiate a peaceful outcome. 1948, NATO was formed by the Allies, which Canada and the United States cooperated by joining forces. Despite their differences, Canada and the U.S. worked together in case there was a defensive alliance attack. Following the forming of NATO was the construction of the DEW Line in 1954. Canada and the U.S. agreed to build a line of radar in the Arctic to detect and provide early warning of Soviet attack. Shortly after, yet another defensive system was created between the U.S. and Canada called NORAD, the Northern Aerospace Defensive System. Fighter forces, missiles, base, and air defense radar were all created deep inside a mountain in Colorado. Overall, despite their differences between Canada and the U.S., they successfully both cooperated to obtain peace with both regions. In 1994, Rwanda, the UN had sent 3,000 peacekeepers under Canadian General Romeo de Clercq, as a massive genocide was occurring between the Tutsis and the Hutu. Romeo had asked for 2,000 men to stop the attack. Overall, the UN had cut the men down to 500, which resulted in a major failure. Canada wanted to help and show good moral judgment by wanting to proceed even when the Allies didn't want to take part, but also helped when others were faced with injustice. After the Cold War ended, Canada had an Ottawa Treaty, which was initially a treaty to ban landmines. It had led to the 1997 Anti-Personnel Landmines Treaty. The final outcome was that 120 countries signed on the use, production, transfer, and stockpiling. It contributes to why Canada should be the UN advisor because it shows good moral judgment by banning landmines, which claim the lives of many and also physically held it. The fact that Canada physically held it. Although Canada demonstrated prime examples and evidence why they should be the UN advisor, many may argue the issue regarding the Somalia incident in 1992 where 900 soldiers in the Canadian Airborne Regiment were deployed to maintain peace during the Civil War. A small number of soldiers abused and tortured a Somalian teenager to death. Despite the tragic event, it is an insignificantly small number of Canadian soldiers. The whole nation was outraged by this event and were caught shortly after their arrival back. It should not affect Canada's opportunity to become the UN advisor because no country is perfect, and certainly small mistakes shouldn't be overlooked. Canada has proven what it takes to be a leader, yet always seeking peaceful solutions. It sets a good example, yet has even been known in Canada's reputation. Despite many failures, such as the Rwanda incident, Canada took part and did the best they could. Overall, Canada should get the job as a UN advisor on maintaining international involvement. Thank you.